All right, guys, Triple E EDC back again with another live video. Let's go ahead and wait just a minute for some people to hop on. Hopefully, people are still up. It's about 1 a.m. Central Time. Let's see what happens here. Hey, Loves, what's going on? What are you still doing up? Hey, C. Lemansky, what's going on? Hey, Case. Got a couple people jumping on right away. That's great. Hey, Don Bon. Hey, just to give you a couple people who got here early a heads up. So I'm actually going to be doing a sort of 1250 / Father's Day giveaway. That's going to be a separate video, but I'll also be doing a giveaway at the end of this one. Lugs, get there, 500 subs. So if you're watching this, check out his channel. Okay, so what we got on the table here is a couple new knives that I was able to pick up. This one actually came courtesy of Zach's stuff, and it's Zach from Zach's stuff. This is the Benchmade Tango flipper, the Jared Ozer. And I was actually really lucky for him to track this down. This is when they were out of stock. And you got a proponent, Beefer Baron. That's awesome. A lot of these were out of stock. Now they're back in stock, but they weren't in stock at first. And he was able to get me a great deal on it. I'm really appreciative. This is serialized number 1049 of 1200. Yeah, and I'm going to be putting up a review of this pretty soon. It's going to be a first impression. Obviously, I haven't held it long enough for a full review. But so far, there's plenty of good stuff I have to say about this thing. There's a couple of drawbacks, obviously. One of them is the fitment on this isn't where I'd like it to be with the shield. But other than that, the fit on the back and everything like that is very nice. The finishing is very nice. Pretty nice flipper. Size is a little small. And this, of course, is the Protec Strider. This is the sterile version. Obviously, you see no markings here, no markings on the back. It's called the Operator, SNG Operator. And this is a tritium insert, so this does glow in the dark. Feel all radioactive. Yeah, so Dom, I like the Strider a lot too. This is actually my first Strider. I've never had a real Strider. This is a Protec Strider, obviously. I've got some interesting feelings on this. I like it somewhat, and I also don't like it. And I'm gonna be doing a first impressions of this also. Plenty of stuff I do like. Is the way Protec makes automatics is just amazing. The blade on this is an excellent blade, excellent shape. A lot of the negative has to do with the handle to blade length ratio. As you can see, one of the biggest things is going to be your cutting edge is about here, and then if you use my handy dandy measurement tool, you see that's how much extra space you have on it when you're doubling the size. But in this choke up with the choil, very, very comfortable. Now, one of the things you guys might have seen, I'm not sure if you have seen this yet, but this sterile setup that they have on this operator, this SNG operator, is also going to be available on the Prometheus Design Works Invictus, this knife. So this is going to have this same setup. I think this is coming out June 3rd in that setup. And so I'm probably going to try to hop on that because I really like the Invictus here. If I'm lucky enough to get one, I may end up selling this one, obviously because I don't really need two, but this is an excellent knife. I don't mind just keeping this one if I can't get the other one. But, I do like the all-black setup with the sterile, no logos, no anything, and then the tritium button. So I only got a couple people on here with me, but what are you guys carrying today? I had with me my ZTO 308 and the Tango. What are you guys carrying? The Proponent? Beefer Baron, which one do you have? Do you have the D2 version or the S35VN? Maximum PM2 every day, Don Bon. Yeah, it's a great knife. Tenacious Lightweight today. Just sharpened it. Bastion Tryon. I don't think I know that one. The Olone Goat. Big Red. What's going on? The Olone Goat has been getting a lot of good press, good reviews. So, I'm definitely feeling that. I got to check that one out. Yeah, the Browns Proponent is great. Yeah, that's the one I just gave away. As far as what I'm drinking tonight, got the Bullet Rye Frontier Whiskey. Any of you guys got anything? All right, well, so let me show you guys a couple of things here. So first of all, like I said, I mentioned that I was going to be giving a giveaway on a separate video, drinking water. Separate video, so I am going to be giving this away, this case Kieranite Barlow as part of the Father's Day giveaway. I'm also going to be giving away one of the 2 wallets that was sent by Andar Wallets to me that I did a recent review on. I know Big Red also did some Andar Wallets reviews, so go check those out on his channel. But I'm going to be giving away one of those wallets. I don't have that one handy. That's going to be in a separate video. But I'm going to give away both of those. One of those is intended for your dad or a significant male figure in your life. And the other one is for you, whichever one you want to give to either person. So yeah, so a couple of things with the sheepdog peanut butter whiskey. I don't think I know that one. I got to look that up. Peanut butter whiskey. I don't think I've heard of that. Is that that's not flavored, is it, or is it just it's got those notes or something? All right, so this Tango, very, very interesting knife. It definitely, you guys have probably seen some size comparisons with the Benchmade proper. So obviously it's a very similar size to the proper. Pretty damn good. Big Red EDC. I gotta check that out. I don't think I've heard of that. So this is probably the smallest I'll go, other than maybe the bug out, and still be comfortable. So let's go ahead and take a look at these knives here. So the bug out on a folder is really what I like as far as comfort on a normal folder, as being a smaller knife. This still feels full size to me. The proper feels a little bit smaller than full size to me, but I really do like. I have large glove size hands. I really do like the feel overall of it, and the fact that it has the curved back for peeling and things like that. I feel like this is almost a flipper version of the proper, even though, and I think that's sort of what Jared Ozer intended, is that it's a flipper version of a traditional. So the proper obviously is more of a modern traditional. This is a modern traditional as well. JKC, what's going on? C. Lemansky. When you're out of peanut butter, buy whiskey. That's right. So yeah, one of the things that I like about it obviously is it's on bearings. I'm probably going to check out to see if I can loosen the pivot a little bit to see if I can make the action a little better. But it does feel smooth. It's got to get past that detent, obviously. But the detent is such that it fires out like a rocket, and that's always a nice thing. One of the main criticisms I have of this, and you'll see this in my review, is sort of an early sneak peek, is that there's no restrictions here when you close your hand, but on the flipper tab is sort of a restriction to comfort on ergos on this Tango. The truth is, if you put it right in the crease of your finger and you're not bearing down too hard, you really don't feel it, so it's not really that big of an issue. But if you pull the knife up and use it more of as a 3-finger knife, it's just not that comfortable. So just something to be aware of if you guys are looking at the Tango. But I do like it, and I do plan on carrying it. I have carried it a couple days. Yes, that's a micarta proper. This is my micarta proper with the clip point. So I have carried this for a few days. Comes with this leather slip. Interesting leather slip that Benchmade with the Benchmade logo, proudly made in the USA. One of the interesting things about this is that The leather on it, it's very soft leather. Just warn. Uh, the leather on this is very soft leather, so it's an interesting choice because I don't have it down here with me, but I have my Popov leather pocket armor, and that's a really it's basically leather like this. This is also from Popov leather, the background here, and I really like those slips. It's interesting having this sort of soft leather slip. I don't know the quality of leather on this. I don't think it's full grain, but it's possible. Full grain, of course, if you guys don't know about leather, is the best of the leather. The slip kind of looks like shit. Yes, right. I shouldn't say that. Looks like sit. Yeah. So the slip on this, I don't like the way the stitching is done. So when they double over the stitching, see what happens with the stitching? Not good. So and it's even worse on the reverse side. So they could have done better with the stitching here. One of the ways that the leather stitching goes is when you come around and you want to end it here, you put a stitch on the end that goes around the back like this, and that stitch is usually a more secure way of doing it that looks nicer. So yeah, it doesn't look the best, I do have to say. It feels pretty nice though. So that's I guess how the slip feels is more important than how it looks, because unless you're planning on breaking this out with your suit, which I guess you could do, it does look kind of nice. You should probably upgrade your slip if you're gonna do that. But it's like buying a fixed blade. Not all the sheaths you're gonna buy are gonna be as good as the sheaths that come from Bark River, right? So Bark River is gonna have a nice fixed blade. Sort of a segue here, and it's gonna have a very nice sheath most of the time, right? You see the stitching on this? Stitching's much better on this Bark River sheath. You do have some double over here, but it's not mashed on top of each other. So this, of course, by the way, is the Bark River Bravo squad leader. So it's a thick boy, just to show you how thick it is. Sorry, I'm missing some of the comments because I'm looking too much at the screen. So if any of you guys said hi or missed something, sorry about that. Yeah, she thick. That's right. Well, it's meant to be a chopper, or sort of an all-use knife out in the woods. So I've tried it a little bit. I went out in the woods with my son, and we started carving up some sticks. So I've actually done some wood carving. I may have showed it on the channel. I don't even remember. But I carved some wood knives for my kids. So they asked me to look at my knives. So I carved some wood fixed blades for them and did some rounded edges on them. Turned out pretty well, actually. Yeah, so the Bark River is pretty nice. If you want to see it real quick, I'll show it. So it's this is a 3V version. It's got the mosaic pins with the midnight burlap micarta. Very, very nice. See that micarta? How much was this one? This wasn't cheap. This is like $280, something like that, on the secondary market. I think originally it was like $330, somewhere around there, but I got it on the secondary market for like $280. You can find some good deals on some Bark Rivers on the secondary market when people really want to sell them. A lot of people buy too many of them, and they realize they're only taking one or two with them when they go out. Do I have a Protec Newport? Hey, Judson. So I don't have a Protec Newport. Let me go ahead and throw a couple of my Protecs on the screen here. So I have Bark River is definitely guaranteed quality. Are any of you picking up that Bark River tracker that's dropping? They haven't done one for a while, and they're just doing pre-orders, I think, now on the tracker. So I've got the Protec Invictus, the Protec Strider SNG, and the Protec Magic 2. I think those are pretty much all my Protec knives I have at the moment. As you can see, this Magic 2 is well loved. It's really a nice blade shape here. So people love the blade shape on the Spidey Chef. And this is basically the same blade shape. And yet, this Protec Magic 2 doesn't get much love from most of the knife community. They see it as a gadget knife. But the truth is, look at the stock on the Spidey Chef. Look at the blade shape. Right? Blade shape. This is aluminum, this is titanium. They're not that far off in price, but this is an automatic with really nice construction from Protec. I honestly don't see why this Spidey Chef. So this Spidey Chef is actually spoken for. I have already agreed to send it to somebody else. I may get another one down the road, but this one particularly is spoken for. But yeah, I don't know why the Magic 2 wasn't more of a hit. In fact, if people still ask me, should I go get a Magic 2 now, even though, it came out, 2 years ago now? I'd say, yeah, definitely. It's just a lot of fun. I mean, for you guys who don't know, it has a sliding scale, sort of like the way, this works, the Meerkat. So you slide the scale in order to lock it. So this is the opposite. You slide the scale in order to open it, and then you slide the scale again to lock it. You got a Newport coming tomorrow. First Protec, first auto. You're pretty excited. Yeah, it is definitely Protec. So Protec is funny. So I first tried out a couple of the TR3s and TR4s in, I think it was in Blade Ops when I tried them out. And they just weren't, people love them. And they didn't fit me right ergonomically. Maybe I didn't give them enough of a chance. But people love them, and they didn't fit me ergonomically. So then I stopped. I didn't really pursue Protec for a while, and then I got this one from PVK Vegas actually. So I was there in person. I happened to go in the store, tried it out, and with this feather texture on the aluminum, I really loved it. And so this is my first foray into Protec, and then I got this one recently. Frankly, I haven't had too many Protecs, and this one's just amazing. So I decided to go ahead and get this one, which I'll do a first impressions for in the next couple of days. Been spending it all on flashlights and packs lately. Yeah, so I actually have a Vertex Gamut 2.0 that I've been using for a while. I'm going to do a review on it for you guys shortly, and you can see how I pack, how I do my pack on that video. In fact, if you want, I could probably show you guys a little bit of my setup right now. Let's see. So, sorry, Big Red, I missed it. Something about PVK. The comment disappeared. But I go, all right, so I travel for work a lot. And so I find myself in different places. That's why I was in Utah. That's why I was in Vegas. And, so that's why I end up, that's why you see some of these things. So let me go ahead and show you a little bit about what I got going on. Let me just make sure there's no identifying information in here. Yeah, I think I should be good. Okay, so let's see. You guys can see. So this is my Gamut 2.0. Did I see the back room? No, I did not see the back room. So for those of you who haven't been to PVK, it's basically this tiny little front area, and then they have just this massive selection of knives in the back, and you get them to bring them up front. I didn't go to the back room. I didn't even know they let the public in the back room, to be honest. Big Red, you must have more sway than I do. So let me show you the setup I have here. So one of the things I like about this is there's a lot of pockets, a lot of storage, and there's Molly. And the way they do the Molly on here is really nice. So they have this sort of ripstop here, and so I don't have this zipped up. Let me go ahead and throw this down Sorry. Okay, so I have this sort of ripstop here, and you can see in the Molly, you just asked. You know, I didn't even know we could go in the back room. So, man, Big Red, JB, you got more sense than I do. I guess I don't have any sense. So I just use this. I'm not a big tactical person, so the Molly is best for all the clips and everything I have here, which is a pretty nice way to do storage, especially since I do a lot of tech stuff on the go. Got some carabiners, got all my chargers, got some extra paracord. That's pretty much my setup on that. And then the other thing, yeah, I got a backup charger for the backup charger. Actually, I just got a lot of different electronic devices that require different chargers. This isn't really a full review, so I'm just showing you. So this is normally where the guns are stashed. It's built for guns, and I'm going to show you what I use it for. Is more chargers. So I've got my EDC sort of Leatherman tool here. This is the Leatherman Free P4. I've got my computer charger. My this is a backup battery. I've got my charger. This is the charger that charges the backup charger. I got my wall charger for this. Yep, more chargers. So the other chargers are like a watch charger and a couple other things. I just use Velcro basically to create these holders for these things. You can see like, the backup battery goes right in here. And I think it's a great way to use the Velcro in the back. You can see obviously PVK. Got that patch while I was there when I got my Magic 2 actually. Yeah, and then there's a couple other, a bunch of other pockets and things. I have my laptop and another bag inside of here. Yeah, so let's go ahead and put you back up here. But that's my EDC setup with my backpack. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. So what knives do you guys want to see? I could pull out any number of. A lot of you guys know my collection pretty well, I think. Throw a brand up. Do a full review of the gamut? Yeah, I'm planning on doing that. Obviously, you also see that I do leather for a lot of things. Leather, earphone cases. My oldest knife, please. My oldest knife. Any OTF? Sure. I think this is the last one I've got left. This is the Benchmade Infidel. I think my Microtex and my EDC. I think my Microtex and my Heretics I sold. I'm planning on getting a couple more actually. I want a Microtech Combat Trudon and a couple other ones. I've got my Ion. My oldest knife. Let's see. I mean, I don't know if this counts. So this is my Benchmade 940 with the combo edge. I'll leave this up here. So this is my Benchmade 940 with the combo edge. So this was my first knife I really ever got, but this particular one is not. The first knife I ever had was the same knife, but I lost it. Then I got another one. I lost that one again. Yeah, the small Dirac. Yeah, I'm actually very curious about the Dirac. I've had my eye on the Dirac Delta, but I haven't been able to pull the trigger on it. I want to get a Combat Trudon first, and then a Dirac Delta at some point. But I'd definitely love to check it out if you want to send it my way. Definitely appreciate it. Damascus knife, sure. So I have the, whoops, knocking over the camera here. I've got the charger on because the phone is about to die. So, but this is your Damascus knife. This is the Chris Reeve Sebenza 21. Benchmade 940 with G10. Yeah, that's a great one. Dom, definitely. I'd love to see it. So this one is the same one I gave away, same exact type one I gave away, but this is mine that I kept out of the two because I had two of them. One I gave away. My cold steel. So I think I got rid of a couple of my other cold steel. I think I only have one cold steel knife left. I got rid of my 8010. So if you're asking me what my favorite cold steel is, it's probably the 8010. But I got rid of it because I just needed to make some more room for other knives. Still thinking of knocking off what? Knocking off banks in my spare times. So this is my other cold steel that I have, the Black Talon. This thing is sick. Chisel grind, serrated. I mean, this is like the Spyderco Civilian, basically. This thing is sick. But I got rid of my 8010 because I just needed funds to help fuel my channel. So I do go through knives there. I do get rid of knives that I try to. I do get rid of knives that I do like a lot, just because I want to fund things for the channel or get new knives into review or do something for a giveaway. As far as my cheapest knife, my cheapest knife is probably this one. Let's see, where is that? I think I moved it around in my box here. Well, it's either this one or this one. Let's see. Here it is. The CRKT LCK. This is about 30 bucks. This is a great knife for the money. I mean, absolutely fantastic. Nice reverse Tanto. It comes in two different knives. It comes in a satin version with a drop point, and it comes in this reverse Tanto black version. I like this version much better. But this thing is great. It's a nice hollow grind, very, very thin behind the edge. Very, very thin behind the edge. Very, I mean, you can see it next to the 940. Look how pocket friendly that is. I mean, that's just an amazing, amazing pocket friendly knife. Yeah, so that's probably the cheapest knife I have. I also have, I've been trying out the Cryo recently. I got a good deal on this, so I wanted to try it out and thought maybe I'd also give it away when I'm done checking it out. And got another sort of a budget giveaway knife that I'm planning on doing as well. This is the VV Shard. And so those are probably the cheapest knives I have at this time. I actually go and do a lot of CJRB stuff and things like that. I really love the CJRBs, but I gave away a lot of them recently, and so I don't have any left in my collection right now. That'll probably change in the next couple of weeks because I'll probably buy 2 more models to check out, and then I'll give at least one of them away. You weren't thrilled with the Shard? Yeah, so the Shard is interesting. It's pretty ergonomic as like a sort of a 3-finger knife with a 4th finger trailing, and it's okay. It's too small for me. You guys know I like bigger knives. So he said the liners killed it for him. So there's gold liners. So if you don't like the red and gold together, definitely it's not for everyone. But it can be Spidey flicked pretty easily, which I like. Dom, I missed your story. Oh, the other thing Big Red about this is the titanium clip on this. It's a really nice clip. It just doesn't match the knife at all. I don't know what they were thinking. But this is also very, very thin behind the edge and slices like a dream. Thoughts on the ZT? Thoughts on ZT? So I like ZT a lot. Depends on the knife though. So go ahead and take some of these off the table. Yeah, it didn't match at all. Kind of interesting, right? So the ZT0308, it's a VV shredder. Yeah, I need to check that out. I haven't gotten the shredder yet. So this ZT0308, I've got the aftermarket scale on it. I really, really love this knife. I wasn't expecting to because it's so big. I was planning on just getting it, reviewing it, and letting it go. But I love this thing. I love it enough that I got a custom scale for it. I fiddled with the insides, and now that the action on it is just butter. This thing is just so nice on that thing. And then I also got caught up. I got caught up doing this. So you guys saw my channel before, ZTO392, which the Warncliffe. So this is obviously discontinued. And then I sold this because I needed money for the channel. The guy who bought it from me decided he needed money later on and said, "Hey, do you want to buy it back for what I sold it to you for?" I said, "Sure." So this is the same knife I got back. And then I liked it so much, I ended up buying this one too. So this is the regular Warncliffe version, and this is the Warncliffe DLC Purple Black version. So these are fantastic. They come with Hinderer hardware. These aren't discontinued, but they come with Hinderer hardware. This is real Hinderer hardware. It's got the spanner bits and everything. Very, very nice. By the way, there's a few Hinderer Eclipse. This is based on the Eclipse. There's a few Hinderer Eclipse models in the Harpoon Tonto that just came out that are still available. Most of them are snatched up, but there's still a couple left if you guys are interested. That you can probably find them on GP Knives or DLT Trading. I think USA Made Blade might have one or two left. So definitely check those out. I've been really into Hinderers recently. As far as other ZT knives, let me see. Do I have anything else ZT right now? Oh, yes, here. So this is the 462, right? What is this? The 452 BW, WBW. 452 WBW. So this is white carbon fiber, white and black carbon fiber with a black wash blade. This is the token large knife that Nick Shabazz uses, and he uses the satin version with the black carbon fiber. But this one does not glow in the dark. There is another version that glows in the dark, but this is the white carbon fiber one. The glow in the dark version doesn't have a black wash blade. I think it has a black DLC blade. So this is a little bit different, but this is S35VN steel, I believe. Yes, US S35VN. But the action on here is really nice. It fires out really, really nice. But the really nice thing about it, honestly, is you're getting like a 4-inch knife here. I mean, let's look at the size comparisons. 4-inch blade, I should say. Right? You're getting that 4-inch blade. Let's put it pivot to pivot. But you're getting it in a size that carries well, almost like a 940. So this thing I tried to sell for a while. No one bought it. And then I realized I really loved it and decided not to sell it. So, sometimes you get that, scenario where you start carrying something again and you realize, why did I ever want to sell this thing? So that just happens. At least when you have as many knives as I do. What's my kitchen knives like? There's one other question I missed. I'm sorry. Someone put up a question that I missed. But what's my kitchen knives like? So honestly, my wife doesn't know how much I spend on knives. So my kitchen knives aren't as nice as my pocket knives. So let me just put it that way. What I try to do is I try to, hide at least one or two knives in the kitchen that I can use. I would like to get a couple nice kitchen knives one time, as long as my wife doesn't know what I paid for them. How about you guys? What kinds of kitchen knives you guys use? Anything special? Big Red, is that the one that you got for your wife that everyone voted on? He said he's going to do a review of one soon. Use Cold Steel's, JB, like the new Cold Steel chef knives. No, I'm sorry, that's not Cold Steel. That's Tops. Anybody use the Tops chef's knife? Your wife would bust you. Yeah. So honestly, the way I get away with it is I'm really good at searching for deals. And so see the you have Westhoffs. That's cool. Yeah, and a cleaver. Awesome. So the way I get away with it is I'm really good at finding deals, and so I will find deals on certain knives, and then I'll beyond what they sell for at retail. So I try to find good deals under retail because don't want to cause people to pay more than retail. But I'll find some nice trades that are in my favor or something like that, and over time I build up enough money that I can turn one knife into two knives and two knives into three and things. I guess wheeling and dealing is where a lot of that comes from. Switch to no headphone sound. My headphones just died, so hopefully you guys can still hear. Okay. One of the drawbacks of going late at night like this, we got 13 people, but I'm just so honored that you guys decide to show up. It's really nice to be able to just throw something on and you got a couple people to get online and chill with right off the bat. What's that, JKC? You got something off an estate sale? Estate sales are a good place to find some good stuff. I've actually got a couple pairs of I think I got one pair of really nice shoes from an estate sale. Don't knock shoes as long as they're not crazy heavily used. You can get $800 pairs of shoes, $800 pairs of shoes for $200. So when you wear a suit every day like I have to sometimes, that's what you need to do. Tops XCST folder yet? I haven't. I got to check that out. Tops did the Bob folder, and I never got it, actually. I need to get that thing on my channel. Remember, custom for $65,000. Wow. Yeah, I really like Tops knives. I've only owned one, but I've held several of them. I have a couple friends who had some Tops knives, and I've gotten to use a couple of them here and there. They are really, really good quality knives for the price, especially. Made with a meteorite piece. Wow. Yeah, Bourdain was an interesting guy. Sad what happened. I have never had a Piranha. I really, really want to try one. They do both out the side and out the front automatics. Very, very interested in those. I've never gotten a chance to hold one or use one or anything like that. I guess next time I'm in PVK, I think they had some. Maybe I'll check those out. I actually end up in Vegas for work probably 6 to 10 times a year. Virus mirror finish. Must have missed that on the chat earlier. I can only see a couple of comments at a time since I have this on landscape. Let's go ahead and check out some other knives I got here. So you guys saw a couple of those. I saw Benchmades on Zach's channel earlier. They were asking what everyone's favorite Benchmades were. So I'll post up what mine are. The Benchmade 940. How do I travel with my knives? I'll get to that actually. So the Benchmade 940 is probably my favorite Benchmade. Then I've got the Super Freak. And, at the same time that Zach was saying that he surprisingly had this choice as his third choice, I did too, and it was my proper. Dom, you'll have to tell me about that Piranha when you email me. Awesome. Yeah, so these are probably my favorite Benchmades. As far as how do I get stuff on the plane, so one of the great things, honestly, going to different states that have different laws, I try to research the laws ahead of time. Sometimes there are, places that I can't carry a knife or can't carry what I want to carry. So I try to carry stuff that's easy, that if I lost, I could live with, because I pack them in my suitcase. I can't carry them on the plane. So actually, this knife travels with me quite a bit. This CRKT LCK. It's just this thing carries so nice. You really don't notice it at all on you. And if I lost this, it's $30. Replace it, very easy. So this one I carry, I travel with. I actually also travel with this one. Now this one would be a pain in the butt to replace because you'd have to get the actual bug out, then I'd have to get the scales. Together, that's about $200. But it's just so easy to carry most of the time when I travel. I'll sometimes travel with this as well. And by the way, if you had to ask me what my third favorite Benchmade was, it's probably this version of the bug out with the scales. But yeah, this LCK, this really is one of the ultimate travel knives because it has this nice choil to choke up on. It has a nice hollow grind. Which is very slicey by itself. If you had to jack up the edge because you're doing some hard cutting, resharpen it. If you don't resharpen it, and it gets jacked up, again, $30. If you lose it, $30. Very, very nice. The Mini Super Freak, C. Lemansky. So I love the Super Freak. The Mini Super Freak is very, very expensive. It's more expensive than this Super Freak. And I don't like the size that much, to be honest. Even though I like this one, I think it's around the same size as the bug out, maybe a little bit smaller. I may give it a try in the store before I buy, but I will not just order it online. Yeah, the original Super Freak it just fits your hand so well. Or at least my hand. I have a large glove size hand. It's got this, perfect nook for your thumb. Everything else falls exactly where it should. Feels great in the hand, has texturing on the handles. And I mean, this edge, it is literally pretty much as thin as the bug out. Now, this is a knife I didn't carry that much, if I'm being honest, this Super Freak when I first got it, because I just didn't want to mess it up. And then I realized, you know what, it's made to work. I started carrying it, and this thing is an absolute laser through cardboard. So I cut up a lot of cardboard. My wife loves Amazon. So, yeah, we go through a lot of cardboard in this house, and this has seen some good action with the cardboard. Interestingly enough, the Super Freak actually cuts better than my bug out. What's the most useless knife I have? Ooh. So I don't usually keep useless knives. I guess I guess the most useless knife would have to be this one, unless I was in a self-defense situation. Just because this is not really an EDC knife. That's really, I guess I'd have to go with that one. Also, I like hard using these, but there are certain things you can't do with a double-edged knife that you can do, like, putting leverage on the edge of the blade and things like that, that you can't do with a regular EDC knife. So this would also, I wouldn't say this is useless. This is very, very useful in many situations. But if you're making me choose between the knives I have on hand, this blade style is probably not as useful as some other blade styles I have. As far as, am I in on the 9400, the auto version? The answer is yes. I am in on the 9400 auto. I will be getting it. I don't know if I can afford all these knives coming out right all at once, but I do plan on getting it. I will say it's a little duplicative of the Mediator, which I also need to get, and I also have on my list. And it's interesting that the Mediator I know of at least one site I can get it for $206, and it's S90V steel, whereas you're getting S30V for like $230 on the 940. So I'm a little disappointed. That's why I said in my original video, I'm a little disappointed the way they came out with it. I would have preferred to see sort of an upgraded version, especially since it's competing directly with the Mediator. Any warranty horror stories? I don't have any warranty horror stories, but I did go through with that issue I had with Buck. So with the Marksman, so I had them send me. Yeah, the Mediator does have CF Elite also. That is true. And some people will say CF Elite is better or worse than aluminum, which is what's going to be on the 940. Both are fine. CF Elite's really strong. It's not as cheap as people make it out to be. And the aluminum, also, some people consider it to be cheap, but then it's, on $300 Microtex. So, but as far as the warranty, so I have a video out where I talk about the Buck warranty, the Marksman issue that I have. Mainly that was just the fact that it was an SK Blades exclusive, and they didn't carry the hardware to replace hardware on the SK Blades exclusives because they only make enough for the runs that they do. They don't make any extras to keep around if people make warranty claims. Other than that, their service was great. They just had to send me multiple copies until they realized they didn't have what I needed, because every time I asked for SK Blades, they didn't seem to know. So even though I told them the specific color, I told them Stonewashed Black several times, and they kept sending me satin. So I think that's pretty much where I am. At least I tried. Yeah, but I mean, look, Buck's warranty is normally very good. It's just the fact that it was SK Blades. Do I use Benchmade's Life Sharp? I don't use Benchmade's Life Sharp at all. And the reason I don't use Benchmade's Life Sharp is, and it's also the reason I don't really send knives out to warranty, I try to demand that parts be sent to me, is I don't like being without my knives. Number one, I will forget about it and probably lose track of it. And number two, the fact is that I'm just as capable as they are of disassembling most knives and fixing whatever the issue is. I also, with Life Sharp, I have both a Wicked Edge Go and a Benchmade Work Sharp, the guided stones. So yeah, sharpening is a little bit therapeutic. There is a learning curve a little bit with sharpening, and so I'd suggest doing sharpening on a cheaper knife first. But once you learn it and know how to do it, and it's a skill that you should have for life. It's like teaching someone to fish. Once you learn it and do it, it's great, and you can do it faster and faster each time, and you can do it better and better each time. You just sort of get to know what you need to do, or if you're using the Wicked Edge, it does it for you. And frankly, I find that I'll put the edge that I want on my knives, whereas if I send it off to Benchmade, I'm just going to get some, sand ground factory edge, basically. So no, I don't use the Life Sharp. It's a very cool program, especially for those people who don't want to who don't want to sharpen their own knives. Someone just talked about a Sharpie, and so I didn't see who it was that commented, but let me tell you what they're talking about. What they're talking about is essentially, you see the edge is sort of revealed, the bevel is revealed on this side and on this side, and so what you'll do is you'll actually put the Sharpie on the edge right here so that both sides of the Sharpie droop over the sides, and you'll sort of cut into the Sharpie a little bit, not really, but just drag it along the edge, and then it'll coat both sides of the edge without actually coating further up your knife. And when you start to sharpen it on the bevel, when you find the right angle, and the Sharpie will tell you where the right angle is, because once you reach the right angle, the Sharpie will come right off. It'll be ground off by the stones you're using. So that's the Sharpie method. I think we're getting up there. We're about 50 minutes in. I don't want to keep you guys too long. I still have to record a giveaway video after this. So I'm going to do a giveaway now, and I'm going to do a giveaway video for later, probably 20 minutes or so after I end this thing. So once you're off, also look out for the giveaway video I'm going to be doing. But let's go ahead and do a giveaway now. We only have like 12 people on, so happy to just with the 12 or so people that we have on, do, let's say, a number between 1 and 100, and the closest person to that number will get it. Everyone gets one guess. Let me show you what we're going to be giving away. Let's go ahead and take some of these knives off the table. So I figured I'd do a choice again. No, don't start guessing yet. You can keep those guesses, but don't start guessing yet, because I'm not going to be able to. I'm going to rely on you guys a little bit. I don't have my iPad. Actually, you know what, let me go set up my iPad. 1 second. Yeah, so I'm going to type out start when I'm ready to go on this. But, oops. No, my iPad is dead. So what I'm going to have you guys do is just confirm for me who was the closest. We only got 13 people in here. And so what I'm going to say is I'm just going to say start. I'm going to say stop. And when I say start, you guys are going to give me your guesses. And then if you guys could just look up, confirm for me who the winner is. I'll just confirm it later. And I'll have you email me at triple.e.edc@gmail.com. The winner will email me. So as far as what you could win, I think I'm going to do two options right now. You could pick one of the two, and we're going to look at that Civivi Shard and the Kershaw Cryo. A couple of knives here to be given away. Okay, so you'll get your choice, whoever wins. All right, so I'll say between 1 and 100, and I'll say go now. Go ahead and start. One guess only. One guess only. I'll give it about a minute, and then I'll end the guessing. I've seen about 5 guesses so far. If you're watching, we're giving away one of these two knives, the Civivi Shard and the Kershaw Cryo. Guess a number between 1 and 100. You have one guess, and the closest person to that number will get it. I haven't seen the actual number yet. Has everyone guessed? Is there anyone that still needs to guess? Okay, it seems like everyone's guessed. So I'm going to say stop. And I'll just wait about 10 seconds to make sure there's no residual messages coming in. People may have fallen asleep. Yeah, they're watching, but they're not watching. They probably threw my screen up and they're looking at other stuff. No, so the number was 28. So I think I saw who was closest, which was I think Judson. Tell me if I'm wrong. Some people don't like to comment. Well, when you're getting free stuff, maybe it's good to comment. I don't know, but I mean, people may have the Cryo already. It's a very popular knife. Judson? Yeah, I think Judson won. So Judson, just email me, triple.e.edc@gmail.com. Let me know which one you want, what address to send it to, and it will go out this week. I will probably, I'm not sure which day this week because getting to the post office these days is a little bit of a trip, but it will be sometime this week. Yeah, I think it's Judson. I was trying to keep track as they came in. There weren't so many that were responding. Number was 28, Selemansky. So, for those of you who may hate me for this, I am an old school. I've been a Patriots fan most of my life, probably since I was. I'll tell you a quick story. So I was originally, I'm originally from the DC area, and I was the email is triple.e.edc@gmail.com. So I'm originally from the DC area, and I was originally a Redskins fan, very, very young. And so I wrote teams I wrote to every single team in the league trying to get autographs for a whole bunch of players. I'm gonna date myself here, but I was trying to get Barry Sanders and Jerry Rice and Steve Young and Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith and all those guys. And so, I was trying to get all these autographs. Every single team in the league sent me back something. They, whether it was a real autograph or an auto pen autograph or a fan pack with one of those pennants that you put up in your room or bumper stickers or something. All of them sent me something except the Redskins. The Redskins. This was back when Jack Hancock owned the team, but not Dan Snyder. But they sent me back my own letter in a Redskins envelope with no explanation. And so I was like, for a kid who was, must have been like 5 or something, 6, the letter was obviously written by a kid. Just what a, crappy move. So I decided I didn't like them. That was around the same year that Drew Bledsoe was coming up out of Washington State. The Pats were, I liked watching Drew Bledsoe in college. And he got drafted number 1 by the Pats. Almost was Rick Meyer, actually, but he went to Seattle number 2. So the Pats drafted Drew Bledsoe, and I ended up becoming a Patriots fan well before they were any good. triple.e.edc@gmail.com. That is my email. So, look, it worked out. So, yeah, the line was called the Hogs. That's right. So, it ended up working out. Obviously, Brady's now in Tampa. It is what it is. Honestly, when Brady first took over for Bledsoe, I was pissed. So it ended up working out. But I know a lot of people have a lot of hate for the Patriots, so I usually try to keep that to myself. Oh, so why the number 28? So I forgot that's why the number started. So I was an old school Patriots fan, and as much as the Patriots grew to hate this number, I was a huge Curtis Martin fan. And so Curtis Martin was number 28 on the Patriots. Darryl Green was also number 28. That's correct. Actually, I met Darryl Green once. Really, really nice guy, like really down to earth. I was very impressed by Darryl Green. He stayed around for a lot of the fans, a lot of the time. Not a tall guy, but man, was he fast. I mean, man, was he fast. I think I saw him run down like wide receivers from way across the field, and running backs and all sorts of things from way across the field. Very, very interesting player. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. I know it's about an hour. I think you're my age, old fart. Yeah, so I'm in my mid to late 30s. But Beaver Baron was closer. If Beaver Baron was closer, I'll confirm afterwards. I'm sorry, Judson. If Beaver Baron was closer, he will win. I'm sorry, but I will double check that before we confirm. They do live playback on these things later, so we will double check. So Beaver Baron, if it was you, just email me at triple.e.edc@gmail.com. Judson, if it wasn't you, I'm sorry. I must have missed it. Sorry, Justin. But listen, if you tune back in next time you see me on a live, If you tune in next time and you see me on a live, I guarantee you that you're going to have a pretty good shot of getting a giveaway knife, because if we have 14 or even if we have 30 people, your odds are pretty good. So. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Keep a lookout for that other giveaway I'm running within the next probably 20 minutes or so. Yeah, it wasn't go yet when you guessed the first time. Yeah, so the guesses are going to count from when I said go. Yeah, keep trying, definitely. Thank you guys again. Have a great night. I gotta get running. I just got a message on my thing that PVK Vegas started a live stream on Instagram. Speaking of PVK, don't know what they're broadcasting. I just thought it was funny. Have a good one. Good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.